This is my lilac tree given by my mother-in-law, and this is where I take all the little rooted guys and just move them all around my yard. So now I have like 20 trees around my yard, but they're this size, or maybe this size. This is my little herb garden, my sage, oregano, sorrel, and basil. I have a lot more basil growing. These are all the peas. I like to just share them with the neighbors, so I have a little bit of extra. I like to sow seeds in containers just so I don't lose track of them and can keep an eye on them. This is turnips, alfalfa, spinach. These are cuttings of a dappled willow. This one's so pretty. Yeah, this is alfalfa here. Lettuce, just transplanted. More cuttings. This is gonna be a long video. A red Russian kale, potatoes, doing really good. More spinach, green onions. Those are lilies in the back. Oh, I bought a ton of these little bare root trees. They're like 1 to 2 feet. This is ginkgo. So I just put it in a few weeks ago, so it's not like flowering or anything. Or, I mean, the buds, it's not adjusted yet. But they're like $8 on Etsy. This is viburnum. Same thing, it's like a 1 to 2 foot viburnum bare root tree, so it's not really doing that well yet. But I know it's alive because it's bendy. What else we got here? This is a pussy willow, and it is adjusting well. It's even got growth at the bottom, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing. And this onion has been here for years. I've never plucked it, but now this year, I think it's like the 3rd year, it's got a little bulb, so I can't wait. Then I have Chinese privets everywhere. I love them because when the white flowers come out, they smell so good, but these are too small. This is like a foot. It does not make flowers yet. And I'm familiar with what to pluck out, so. There's tomatoes from last year. They're, you know, when the tomatoes fall, they just make little babies everywhere. So I don't even have to grow tomatoes. And see, this is a lilac. More of those Chinese privets. My neighbor has a whole hedge of them, and there's little babies. So I just pluck out the babies and put them in here, and then they grow. I think this might be a weed flower, some kind of weeds, but I just leave some of them to grow because sometimes I don't really know what they are. This is a little cutting of Russian sage in the front, that purple one. So it's rooted really well, so I'm gonna have a lot of those. This is Coreopsis, I believe, and this is, I have a ton of these, Forsythia. This we're renovating. There were 2 bushes here, and we're putting stone edging. Lots of hostas that were here before we even moved to the house, and my neighbor was throwing away like 20 of them, so I was like, hey, you can't throw away a plant. Obviously. This bush, I'm not exactly sure what it is, because when I was walking around the neighborhood, there's an area where it says like no dumping, and people always dump stuff there, especially potted plants that they don't like. So I found 2 of these. Somebody just tossed them, and they've been there all winter, I can tell, but they were like without a pot, and they were still alive. I was completely shocked. You could see it's about to go to flower, so I'll find out what it is. I have a feeling it's a Weigela, I'm not sure, but I have another plant like this that has the same exact leaves, so that's why I think that. But I pruned it, and it's very hardy. This is an oak leaf hydrangea, and when it was mailed, the top broke off, but I'm not worried because it'll just grow back. Peonies, these are small. I just bought the rhizome or the root last year, so there it is. This was my planned garden bed, and it went like pretty decent, I guess. These are radishes. I'm not thinning them. I don't like thinning, so whatever happens, happens. I'm also experimenting. I had a ton of bok choy in the seed trays, and they were just starting to go really bad, like dying. So I was like, I'm just gonna put them out, even if it's too cold. I'll see if they survive. Spinach. Actually, this might be beets because of the red there. You see another lilac. These were daffodils. The heads are done now. This is my pea, and I didn't really have a trellis close enough to it, so I just put a little branch there. But these will be peas. Lilies. This is it's either squash or cucumber, one of those. I have another one there and another one here, getting closer to the trellis, so I still have a lot to figure out. This is, trying to think of the name, comfrey. Yeah, there you go. There's all kinds of cuttings, so I don't remember exactly what they are, but you know, I just take a branch and I stick it in the ground, it grows roots. And yeah, this is Montauk daisy, another lilac, more peas. I also planted corn, but I see no signs of corn. It may be too early. See, another lilac, another lilac. This is sweet autumn clematis, however you say it. A Chinese privet, more hostas, more squashes. Oh, this is a watermelon. Believe this is spinach. And this is that red Mexican sunflower that's gonna get really tall and prolific, I guess. I had a ton of them indoors. I sowed seeds in like January, but they were sown way too early, so most of them died. So now I have 3. And I'm not sure if this is broccoli or it's something. It's been eaten, so it's okay. A little for nature, a little for me, right?